something you had. I'm not here to tell you to go for a walk. I'm not here to tell you that gratitude journaling will fix it, or that you just need to get some sunlight, or that other people have it worse. You already know all of that. You've been telling it to yourself like a weapon, and it hasn't worked. And that's not because you're weak. It's because depression isn't a thinking problem. You can't think your way out of it. If thinking worked, you'd have already done it, because you are clearly someone who thinks. I want to sit here with you for a minute before we go anywhere. Not in a clinical way, not in a let me validate your feelings way. I mean, I want to actually be here, in whatever room you're in whatever state the bed is in whatever the light looks like coming through whatever crack in whatever curtain you haven't opened yet. Because here's what I know about the people who end up in this place. They're not weak. They're usually the ones who held everyone else together for so long that there was nothing left for themselves. They're the ones who said, "I'm fine," so many times that they stopped being able to tell whether they were or not. They're the ones who were strong in exactly the wrong direction, inward, compressing, containing, until the container cracked. That's not weakness. That's a body and a mind that finally ran out of a resource that was never infinite to begin with. Depression lies. I need to say that plainly because you may have been living inside its narrative long enough that you've stopped being able to see where it ends and where you begin. Depression says, this is just who you are now. That's a lie. Depression says, you felt this way too long for it to ever actually change. That's a lie. Depression says that people who love you would be better off if you stopped being a burden to them. If that thought has crossed your mind, and I'm saying this carefully, that is the lie talking, not the truth. Please tell someone, not tomorrow, today, even a text, even one sentence. You are not a burden. You are a person in the middle of something very hard, and the people who love you would rather carry some of it with you than lose you to the silence. The 396 Hz frequency moving through this episode right now is not decoration. It was chosen specifically because in sound research, 396 Hz is associated with one thing: liberation from fear and guilt. It's called the frequency that dissolves the root causes of negative emotion, not by suppressing them, but by loosening their grip. Depression is held in place partly by fear. Fear that this is permanent, fear that you've broken something unfixable. And by guilt. Guilt about not being better. Guilt about what your low days cost the people around you. 396 Hz doesn't argue with those feelings. It just sits underneath them like a warm floor. And slowly, the grip loosens. I want to tell you what I've learned about the bottom. The bottom is real. I'm not going to tell you it isn't. There are people who have been exactly where you are. Can't get up, can't care, can't feel anything or feeling everything at once. And they are still here. Not because they had some secret discipline you lack. Not because they tried harder. Because they stayed. 1 hour at a time. 1 cup of water. One small thing that wasn't another argument with themselves about why they should be doing more. One small thing. That's the whole assignment right now. Not thriving, not productivity, not returning texts. One small thing.
There's a moment that happens for most people in the grip of this, and if you felt it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Where the weight lifts for about 20 seconds, and in those 20 seconds you feel almost normal, almost like yourself, and then it comes back, and somehow those 20 seconds make everything worse because you remembered what it felt like to not feel this way. I want you to know that those 20 seconds are not a tease. They're a signal. They're your system showing you it still knows the way back. The path hasn't been paved over. The capacity for light is still there. It just needs something it can't currently generate on its own. That something is usually one of three things: time, treatment, or connection, often all three. Time, meaning this will not always be this acute. I know that sounds like nothing when you're in it. It's still true. Treatment, meaning there is no nobility in refusing help. Medication doesn't mean you failed. Therapy doesn't mean you're broken. They mean you're treating a medical condition with the seriousness it deserves, the way you'd treat a broken bone with a cast instead of just deciding to walk it off. Connection, meaning the comment section below this video is a real place where real people are. Not a void, not performative. Drop something honest in there, even just, "I'm fighting today." We show up for that. This community was built exactly for that exchange. I want to give you something to carry out of this episode. Not a to-do list, not a recovery plan, one sentence. Here it is. I am allowed to be in the middle of something hard without it meaning I have failed. Say it again. I am allowed to be in the middle of something hard without it meaning I have failed. Being depressed is not failing. Being in grief is not failing. Being unable to function the way you could 6 months ago is not failing. It means something happened, chemically, circumstantially, or both, and your system is responding to it the only way it knows how. You are not failing. You are in the middle of something hard, and there is a difference. That difference is everything. Before we close, I want to say one more thing, and I want you to hear it all the way. Someone in your life is wondering how you are right now. They haven't texted because they don't want to intrude, or because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing, or because the last time they asked you, you said you were fine and they took you at your word. They're thinking about you. They might be thinking about you right now. You don't have to perform okayness for them. You don't have to have the conversation all at once. You can just reach out and say, "Hey," just the word, and let them come to you. Let someone sit in the room with you, even digitally, even for 5 minutes. You are not too much. You are not a burden. You are a person who is fighting something real, and fighting is exactly what warriors do. Drop a comment below. Tell us where you are today. You don't have to dress it up. The community here is real, and we answer every single one with care. Subscribe so we can keep showing up for you every day. And if this channel has given you one moment of feeling less alone, consider supporting the mission so we can keep it free for the next person who finds it at 2 a.m. when they need it most. The link is below. Even a small contribution says, "Keep the light on." You are not alone. You never were.